Ever stop to think what actually goes into making these huge virtual worlds feel, well, real, especially with giant dinosaurs running around?
Yeah, it's pretty complex stuff under the hood.
Well, today we're going to dive into that a bit. We're looking at the recent patch 0.20.117 notes for the Isle Evrima.
Right, and our plan is basically to unpack how these sometimes really small-sounding technical fixes can make a massive difference to how you actually play the game.
Turning those super frustrating glitches into, hopefully, something seamless.
Exactly. Think of it like a tune-up for this whole, wild prehistoric world they've built. It makes the whole ecosystem work better.
Okay, let's get into it then. So one thing that jumped out was fixes to AI behavior, specifically this culling inconsistency.
Yeah, culling. So basically, that's the game trying to be smart and not, like, render stuff that's miles away.
But here it was messing up, right? The notes say it caused AI to sometimes not spawn when they should,
Yeah.
and sometimes just pop up right next to you, like jump scares.
Which is, I mean, incredibly frustrating in a survival game. Imagine sneaking around and suddenly, boom, a Carno appears out of thin air.
So beyond just being annoying, what does that kind of inconsistent AI spawning really break?
Well, it really comes down to predictability and trust, If you
Uh,
can't trust the world around you to behave consistently.
Like if things just blank in and out.
Exactly. It shatters that immersion. You lose the tension, the strategy. Why bother planning if a T-Rex might just, materialize right behind you? Consistent AI, even digital ones, it's like this unspoken promise the game makes. It builds your confidence.
That makes sense. So, okay, if AI consistency is about the world feeling predictable, then what about combat? That's where you really test things.
Right. And there are some key fixes here.
Yeah, like the Stegosaurus power swing can no longer hit abnormal locations in front of its body. That sounds very specific.
Very specific and very important for fairness. It means the attack connects where it looks like it should connect. No weird phantom hits.
And then for the Triceratops, seems like it had a couple of issues. No more unintended immunity when it's resting.
Yeah, that was a big one, like a weird invincibility frame just for sitting down.
And also, its attack power wasn't scaling right with its size, so bigger trike wasn't necessarily hitting harder.
Apparently not, or not correctly. Fixing that and the immunity bug, it's all about balance. Precise hit detection, proper damage scaling. That's the foundation for any kind of strategic combat.
It makes the fights feel less random, more based on skill.
Exactly. When you fix these kinds of vulnerabilities or inconsistencies, every encounter becomes more about how you play, how you react, rather than just hoping a bug doesn't screw you over. It deepens the strategy.
Okay, sticking with player interactions.
Yeah.
Another one that sounds like it could be super frustrating. Pouncing an animal no longer incorrectly affects stamina drain.
Oh, yeah. Stamina management is everything in this game.
Right. Movement, chasing, escaping,
Yeah.
all depends on stamina, so pouncing messes that up.
It completely throws off your calculations. Can I make this jump? Can I sustain this chase? If the stamina cost is wrong or unpredictable, you can't make those calls reliably.
It breaks your trust in the game's basic rules again.
Precisely. It undermines your agency as a player. When a core mechanic like stamina feels broken, strategic play just feels pointless sometimes.
All right, there's another interesting, maybe more subtle change here. It's about crowd control immunity. Things like getting knocked down or stunned. It says immunity now begins after regaining control of the character instead of when it is first knocked down. What's the nuance there?
So think about it. Before, maybe the moment you hit the ground, you were technically immune to getting knocked down again, even if you were still, stuck in the getting up animation.
Ah, okay, so you couldn't be chain stunned quite as easily, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. But now the immunity only kicks in once you're actually back in control, once you can move and react again.
So it makes the timing feel more intuitive.
Yeah, exactly. More logical. You're vulnerable while you're recovering, truly vulnerable. But once you're up, you get that brief window of protection. It just refines the timing in those really intense moments, makes it feel fairer.
Gotcha. And then, rounding things out, they even tweak some audio stuff.
Yeah, never underestimate audio.
Like how loud bushes rustle depending on your size and speed, though it says it's temporarily quieter, interestingly.
Maybe tuning it still. But the intent is key, making the sound match the action.
And also making sure rain and thunder don't suddenly blast your ears off, capping the max volume.
Little things, right, but so important. Bad audio or audio glitches, like super loud rain, it just yanks you right out of the world.
Like a sensory glitch.
Totally. These fixes help keep that immersive bubble intact. It shows how even the quiet background details contribute to making it feel real.
So when you pull it all together, these patch notes, they might seem like just a list of fixes, but they really show the sheer amount of ongoing work it takes.
Oh, absolutely. Smoothing out all those tiny, rough edges in such a complex system,
Yeah.
it's constant.
It's this detailed, meticulous refinement process happening behind the scenes.
Yeah. And maybe thinking bigger picture kind of brings up a question for you listening. How much do these hidden layers, these technical tweaks you never even see, shape how you feel about any digital thing you use?
Like apps, websites, streaming, not just games.
Right. Even if you don't read the update notes, what unseen work is going on constantly to make your digital interactions feel smooth, feel seamless? What else is quietly being refined in the background? Makes you think, doesn't it?